Ready, Seth? Great. All right, let's call the Brattleboro Selectboard meeting to order for January 20th, 2026. This is a regular meeting. We had an executive session at 5:45. We also had 2 site visits, one to Bittersweet Lane and one to Gulf Road. So, convening this meeting, are there any adjustments to the agenda that someone would like to bring to mind?
Nope.
I don't have any remarks. John, do you have comments?
Yes, a couple of things. I wanted to update you all on the Samuel Elliott Apartments at 107 Elliott Street. 7 of the 18 households that were displaced by the fire were able to move back into their apartments on January 15th, which is great news. This came after the approval from the fire department the day before to reoccupy. The repairs that have been completed include an industrial drying of the side of the building where the damage occurred, a bunch of electrical repairs, ceiling tile replacements of all the smoke and CO2 detectors in the apartments, ceiling and sheetrock repair. There's 4 apartments that still have moderate repairs that are needed and 7 with more major damage that needs to be addressed. 9 households are currently displaced, with 7 staying in local hotels and 2 are staying with family members. There's not an estimated date for these apartments to be reoccupied at this time. Brattleboro Housing will offer these residents other apartments within their portfolio as they become available. This was an update from Executive Director Christine Hazard. Also wanted to share a quick update on the beloved winter shelter at 18 Town Crier Road. This shelter has been opening Sunday through Thursday nights from 8 p.m. to 8 a.m. They have 8 beds available each night on a first-come, first-served basis. Also serves as an extreme cold weather shelter, expanding to 15 beds when activated by the state. Many nights these beds are still available, so people should know that. The biggest challenge right now is overnight staffing, especially midnight to 6 a.m. Even a 4-hour overnight shift can help keep the shelter open for more nights. If anyone wants to help out in this effort, they can volunteer for an overnight shift. They can apply for overnight or weekend staff positions. They can prepare a hot meal, and they can donate items that are needed through the shelter's wish list. If you are interested, reach out to belovedwintershelter, one word, @gmail.com or call 802-332-6678. That's all I have.
Thank you. All right, are there select board members who'd like to comment or give a committee report?
I'll say a couple things. I want to express our solidarity with the people of Minnesota at this time. Reading the news, my hearts are with them. Additionally, because I shouted out the Brattleboro High School Bears girls varsity basketball team last time we met, they also won against Burton, and one of their players, I think, recorded 1,000 points. So it's great news for the Brattleboro Bears.
Great. Anyone else? All right, very good. Public participation. Are there members of the public who would like to speak about an item that is not on tonight's agenda? Yes, sir.
Ryan Larrabee. I think I'm District 9. I'll take just a couple of seconds. I'll be brief. I spent a lot of time, like probably many people here in the room and also on Zoom, digesting the last couple of meetings that happened last week. I want to acknowledge that being on the other side of the table was probably really difficult. But I think I want to say that from my perspective watching, it was uncomfortable to watch. To me, it feels like there might exist some very palpable tension between the members of the select board, and it doesn't inspire a lot of confidence as a voter and as a taxpayer that we're all seeking alignment in a respectful way. It felt really hard to watch. And, you know, I hard enough that it made me feel like it was important enough for me to come here and say that, is that as maybe you continue on, you know, this is you've been you're an elected person, and so I think you have to be a little bit comfortable with opposition and feeling uncomfortable. But I don't think we should be subjected to seeing that play out as often as it did in the last couple of weeks' meetings. So that's all I had to say tonight. Thank you for listening.
Thank you. Bob Oser?
Hello. I think you can hear me. I don't know if you can see me.
We can.
Yeah.
Okay. I think we're connected. So, try that one more time. You cannot start your video because the host has stopped it. So I'll just do the verbal thing then. At the January 5th, Robert Ozer, Brattleboro. At the January 15th meeting, a member of the audience asked a question.
Is it?
Yep.
Wouldn't understand.
Okay. Let's see if does that help at all? Any better? A little bit?
Long.
Okay. So at the January 15th meeting, a member of the public made a comment about a Vermont EMS Advisory Committee report. It's a statewide committee that produced a report that's been submitted to the legislature. And a piece of that report says that municipal fire EMS is the most costly delivery system in the state. And a member of the board said, well, that's not germane to the budget discussion, but then continued on and said that I have heard that that report is not accurate. So I'm making a request that we be provided with the evidence that would back up that opinion. Thank you.
Thank you. We can discuss in the agenda setting committee whether we want to have a discussion about that report. Anyone else? All right then, let's go to the consent agenda. John, can you give us a thumbnail sketch on the consent agenda?
Yes, you have 3 items on your consent agenda tonight. By approving the consent agenda, you'll award a $24,725 contract to Triumph Roofing, Inc. of Baldwinville, Mass. for the replacement of the roof at the Kiwanis shelter at Living Memorial Park. You will be you will be authorizing the town manager to accept a grant of $1.7 million from the Agency of Commerce and Community Development for the replacement of Detman Drive Bridge. And I will just add, this is the result of excellent work by your planning department, in particular Brian Bannon, for going out and getting a grant of this size for the town. And finally, you will be rescinding a motion regarding a loan that you made recently on January 6th and approving a new motion approving the Small Business Assistance Program Loan Committee's recommendation to provide a loan to Madden Rathor, also of the India Masala House, as follows: for a $45,000 loan at 5% per annum for 5 years. We had made an error. The Finance Department had made an error in the previous motion, but this is now corrected. And if you approve the consent agenda, those 3 items will be accepted.
Great. Can I have a motion? Please.
I move to accept the consent agenda as presented.
Great. Isaac has moved to accept the consent agenda as presented. All select board members in favor of this motion, please raise your hand and say aye.
Aye.
All right, that passed 5-0. Now, on to regular business. public hearing on Bittersweet Lane. John, do you want to present this?
Yes. So the town received a request from Michael Sersasimo to reclassify Bittersweet Lane as a public town highway. Bittersweet Lane was originally constructed and improved as a private road as part of a subdivision off East Orchard Street. Since that approval was done, all 7 lots within the subdivision have been sold, prompting the current request to the town to reclassify the roadway as a Class 3 town highway. The select board met out there this afternoon, as was mentioned, and examined the road, and the town is recommending a motion for you to consider laying out this road as a Class 3 town highway.
Great. Does the select board wish to hear from Mr. Sersasimo or our town staff regarding this motion?
Do we have to
Yes.
do anything formal to open a formal public hearing, or is it not like that?
We
You
do.
can just say you're opening the public hearing.
I am opening the public hearing with regard to Bittersweet Lane. Now, would someone like to make a motion and then we can have a discussion?
Sure.
Or I'd be happy to make the motion. Yeah. I move to lay out Bittersweet Lane from the intersection of East Orchard Street to its terminus as a Class 3 town highway.
Great. Amanda's made a motion, and now we can have a discussion. And do we want to hear from town staff or Mr. Sersasimo before we make this?
I mean, I lived it. We're good,
Okay.
as far as I'm concerned.
Anyone else have any questions or comments?
I don't have questions. I'm happy if someone wants to join the hearing, but yeah, we got a pretty thorough look at it.
All right. Well, I'll just say my comment before we vote is that, you know, I've been a urban planner for over 40 years, and you all know that. But you probably don't know that my father was a housing developer. So I was born understanding the need for this action. And I think very definitely we should make this amendment. And I also think that if we, as a select board, want to prove to the public that we are interested in new housing in this town, we must do this action because we need to welcome this small street, this community into our town so that others know that we are welcoming of development. Yes.
I actually do just have one comment. I've heard from a couple people across a number of weeks saying, why is this the year you're trying to save money? This costs money. But I think it's important to understand that this is a group of properties that is newly developed, which is what we want. They pay property tax already, and this is just our responsibility as a town to encourage development and provide services. So I agree.
All right then. So,
I would love
And-
to say
yes.
one thing too, Chair, that the road is in impressive shape. It's been cared for just excellently. It has amazing drainage. It's we are taking it on as a town at a time when it's in just excellent condition, and that was assured. We all got to see it with our eyes today. So with full assurance, I feel like this is a great idea.
anyone else? All right then. Let's vote, shall we?
See if there's anyone that wants to.
Is there anyone in the public who wishes to comment? All right.
Close the period.
If you're done, if there's no public to comment, then close the public hearing.
All right. I hereby close the public hearing for the discussion about Bittersweet Lane. And I'll ask, so Amanda has made a motion She moved to lay out Bittersweet Lane from the intersection of East Orchard Street to its terminus as a Class 3 town highway. All select board members in favor of that motion, please raise your hand and say aye.
Aye.
That passes 5-0. Thank you for coming. And then next, we have
Gulf Road.
the discussion on a similar public hearing on Gulf Road. And allow me to open the public hearing on Gulf Road. And maybe someone would like to make the motion, and then we'll hear from.
I'll motion to reclassify a 0.17 mile section of the TH20 from a Class 3 to a Class 4.
Great. Let's hear from Mr. Pacheco on this. Mr. Pacheco, you're being interrogated.
Hello, hello.
Hi.
Hello.
You want to give us a brief overview of the need for this action?
Yeah, bear with me a little as I'm filling in tonight, but
Yes.
You can open the public hearing again.
Oh, didn't I do that? Okay, I open a public hearing on the Gulf Road matter.
all right. So Gulf Road is a stretch of road that connects Wikipe over to Sunset Lake Road. A few years back, a section of that road was transitioned to a Class 4 road, except for a small little .17 that stayed a Class 3. We were notified by the state of Vermont that there was this .17 that was still considered a Class 3, and because of that, it needs to be maintained to the standards of a Class 3, which it wasn't. In that case, we wouldn't collect any of our state highway revenue money, and so we are looking to reclassify that road to Class 4, so we don't have to do the thousands of dollars to bring that to a Class 3.
Okay, John, anything you want to add?
No, nothing.
All right.
Well, except, okay, I will mention that the board also did a site visit there today, so you got
Yes.
to see where
Yes.
this was.
So we all saw with our own eyes.
Yep.
And
Took several lovely walks today.
yes, we did. It was nice of everyone to combine them so that we only had one trip. Is there any commentary? Any from the public? Or from my colleagues?
Sure, I'll comment. First of all, it was really fun to take a walk with y'all today. I was struck by just the beauty of our town. We spend a lot of time in our downtown and maybe the small circle outside, or maybe even where I live in West Brattleboro. But it was truly beautiful and inspiring, and thankful to be part of this, get to be part of this community and get to do that with you guys.
Anyone else? All right, then. We've had a motion from Peter. Are we ready to vote? Oh, let's close the public hearing. I hereby close the public hearing on the Gulf Road matter. And now we could take a vote on the motion that Peter raised, which was to reclassify a 0.17 mile section of TH20 from Class 3 to Class 4. All select board members in favor of this motion, please raise your hand and say aye.
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 Very good. That's 5-0. And allow me to ask for one more motion.
I will motion to adjourn.
Great. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
There we go, 5-0. Thank you all very much. Thank you, Beth. Thank you, BCTV. Thank you, attorneys. Thank you, Darren.
Wow. Ain't got time to take my hat off.
That was beautiful out there.